Welcome back to another episode of Misplaced Garage. So last time I left off with this Triumph, I was building motor mounts, and clearly you can see down here I sprayed some of it with a little primer. I unfortunately missed this section and didn't paint that, but it's good that the motor mounts held through this summer. I moved the car around a little bit, and the motor still seems to be in a good location. It's not rubbing on anything, but I know that I need to start disassembling some of this. I'm probably going to do the timing belt on this engine, and I think for the most part I'm gonna try not to touch the engine for a while at least. I want it to be stock horsepower to start with, so then I know what's going to break first, instead of throwing a turbo at it and having everything break, because that would most definitely suck. Over the last couple of weeks, I ended up building a fence in my backyard. So clearly that's a newer looking fence than what is normally there. And another thing I did, obviously, so I took all the old fence boards from that fence and put them up around the garage, and I think it looks better. I think it's a nicer backdrop. Please comment down below and let me know if it looks better. The 99 cover project, that kind of is sort of finished with. It's got some kinks that I still need to work out, but that I think is more of a springtime project. So I put that car in my backyard, and now the 1974 Triumph Spitfire with a 1990 Miata motor is back on the main burner. We're gonna be digging into this thing real quick. The motor is obviously installed in the car, so I built some motor mounts along with transmission mounts, and clearly it looks like I need to build a transmission tunnel, but hopefully over the winter I can get this car running and driving. Maybe driving, I don't know yet. I'm probably going to use nickel copper lines for this whole engine, because I think that is the best bet, because you can bend them with your hand and they're pretty rust resistant. The old brake lines are all here in the trunk. So these are the ones that I've pulled out so far. These are obviously not in the greatest of condition. I had one of them kind of fall apart in my hand, so I don't want to have that happen again. And yeah, I need to start pulling stuff out and getting this car back onto the grinding list. I think last I left off with this car was redoing the brake system. So obviously here I got some rubber brake lines. I got two new front ones. Actually, I think those are the rear ones, the two rear ones and two front ones. And that should be an interesting project to go about, because I've never bent steel lines. Well, I'm gonna do probably nipple. So we've just about got the first one off. Ain't too bad. Clearly that this line has been it's been on there so long that it's holding its shape. So I guess that's a good sign to replace it. On goes the new one. Clean off the old crush washer or copper washer. And if you guys can't tell, I don't really care about the paint on this thing because I'm throwing brake fluid everywhere. So there's that. This car really needs some love for the paint, but I'm not a paint guy and I don't care nearly enough. I just want it to perform really well. And that's a different size. That's kind of getting annoying. Aha! At least the first one I got was correct. So, since I don't need the horns anymore, I'm just gonna take these off and not have to worry about them ever again. Because not only do they just add weight, I don't think they work, and they just block airflow. So we'll get rid of these things right now. I will be putting the grill back in because that's like one of the coolest parts about this car is the grill. And I'm hoping having that the horn's not in here makes a little bit more room for space for other parts and such that I can add on to the car. There's like 4 or 5 more pounds that I don't need anymore, so those go into the scrap metal bin. Overall, a lot of work left to do on this rig. I mean, there's literally everything other than mounting the engine. That's all the farther I got last winter. So hopefully this winter I can get a bunch of stuff ordered and a bunch of stuff installed, and maybe by springtime I can have this thing running. That was just a little update on the Spitfire. I know some of you guys have been asking where it's at and what happened to it. It was sitting in my backyard all summer and I had other projects to work on. But this winter it's gonna go down and I'm just gonna get a lot of work done on it. So if you want to see that, please like, comment, and subscribe and follow along, and I'll catch you in the next one.